Hey everyone. So today I thought I'd give my slightly delayed impressions of the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe Wave 5 DLC. Alright, so let's start off with Athens Drift. So I thought it was good overall. Well, I thought it was okay overall. In terms of the pros, I think it had a cool theme. I mean, Athens, it's that's just gonna be cool, regardless. Having the Parthenon, having like an amphitheater in there, it's just cool. It has a cool kind of vibe. I'm using the word cool a lot, but it's true. Um, yeah, seeing the architecture was very. It was incorporated well into the course, which I thought was good. Um, like you actually drive, you drift through the amphitheater, or like you can drift. You could just drive around, I guess, but like it's made for drifting, and it was done very well. That's the best example I can think of right now. Um, and then sort of on that line, like each lap was different, which obviously there are other courses like that, but um, I thought this one did it probably not bad. Like, I guess it's also sort of a con because I actually think some of the laps, like the first lap, was way better than the others, and the second one was like fairly bad. So it's like they should have been more balanced out in terms of quality, but it's just cool that each lap was different. You're going back to the same areas, but like from a different angle. So it's a good idea in theory and kind of cool in practice, but has some drawbacks in practice. And then another pro is it actually had pretty good music. I mean, it's obviously wasn't, it's from tour, but um, the rendition they used here was really good. Um, although overall, the stage was actually pretty boring, to be honest. It was, the theme's cool, the architecture was cool, but just driving in the same area from a different angle is a little gets old pretty quickly, and like there's no catch. You're just kind of there for the whole time. So yeah. All right, so Daisy Cruiser. I'd say it's better than Athens Drift. It kind of was a pleasant surprise, or like a palate cleanser, kind of. It had a really good theme, excellent theme, even I would say. The idea of driving on a cruise ship like that's very cool, and it was pulled off like acceptably, but like not well. So, like, yeah, it's a cruise ship. You drive through, the dining room. You drive on the deck through the swimming pool, but like, and you can go underwater, but like that's kind of it. So, it's acceptable. They did as well as they needed to, but not better than that. And on top of that, I remember it having quite like bland music. Not bad, again, like not bad, just like, it's at an acceptable level. But again, the textures were, and it was not as bad in this one, but the textures were like kind of low quality. And I honestly kind of, I don't want to say boring, that's not exactly right, but like, um, well, I was somehow boring, but also went by too quickly. So, figure that out. But, yeah, it was okay. A bit better than Athens Drift. Alright, so moving on to Moonview Highway. So this was the one I was most like disappointed by because this seemed like an awesome course. And it's like it is an awesome course on the Wii, but they put in like what seems like the minimum amount of effort possible to port this one onto here. Like the textures here were awful, awful, um, like unacceptably bad, and it really brought the whole thing down because it's a great course, very, good theme, obviously, very exciting, very well made. Ported terribly. Um, the whole time it's very fast paced, very exciting, very fun to race on. I don't have anything to say about the music. I don't really remember it. I only comment really on the music if I remember it, or like to say that I don't remember it, that it seemed kind of bland. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's a great course, but brought down by the fact that I don't know why. Maybe lack of time, maybe lack of effort, maybe whatever it might be. Great course brought down by poor execution. Well, now we get to Squeaky Clean Sprint, which was sort of the headline course of this whole pack, and in my opinion, kind of carried and saved Wave 5. This is an extremely good course. Now one of my favorite in Mario Kart. Mario Kart 8 is in my top three favorite tracks in all of the DLC so far, all of the waves. Uh, Excellent music, first of all. Very good music. It really, energizes you. I was kind of skeptical of the theme when I first saw it in the trailer, but it was done so well. Like how you fall through the faucet. How you're like, the whole bathroom is super cool. There's like the rubber duck with the Mario hat. You kind of have to see it to understand why it's cool, because it doesn't sound cool. It's like you're racing through a bathroom. It sounds kind of lame, but it's actually really fun. The coins and power-ups are placed in very good places. The flying mechanic is used very well. There's really nothing more to say. It's an excellent course. And it really is like, I hope this gets played a lot on multiplayer. I haven't really played multiplayer since the wave came out. This one seems like a lot of fun to play with other people. So yeah, excellent course. Saved the wave, honestly. So Los Angeles, I'm blanking on the whole name. Oh, okay, yeah, Los Angeles laps. This was good. But had the same problem as most of the other tour city maps, which was that it was basically totally uninspired. So, it had good music. It had the texture issue wasn't here as much, but it was basically just a beach level, but with like some LA stuff, quote unquote, added in, which basically just meant some kind of generic looking buildings added in next to the beach, which like a beach level is fine, but don't call it an LA level if it's not. Not particularly fun, nothing really interesting to see. Reused crabs for some reason. It's like, get something LA specific, like have like like bodybuilders on the beach or something. Or people tanning or whatever, have that be the obstacle. Don't just reuse crabs for no reason. Well, it's not for no reason, it's because they didn't feel like doing that, or didn't have time. But yeah, this was okay. This was an okay course. Sunset Wilds. So this was 100% the worst course in Wave 5, one of the worst courses in Mario Kart 8, the entire game. So the thing about these GBA ports, the same with the SNES ports, is you have to take a lot of creative liberties because you're porting a course that was made in 2D where you could barely have any assets on the screen loading in. And they did not do that here, at least not sufficiently. They added in like some shy guys with pickaxes, but they kept those like colorful cube blocks on the side, which just look ugly and served the purpose of illustrating the borders back when they couldn't draw more natural looking borders to the course back on the SNES and GBA. Bad music, just downright bad music. Extremely boring course. Boring background. Ugly. This was just a downright bad course. Koopa Cape. Yeah, another kind of mediocre level. If you're noticing a theme here. It had good music. Not great, but good. And had a sort of interesting underwater area, which in theory used the, I should know the name, but the, the thing where your tires turn blue and when you bump into other people it accelerates you, that thing. It was just kind of there, but like didn't really do much. Which I get it, it's a port of a course. They're not going to change it a lot to suit that, but that was a little disappointing to see. It was definitely interesting looking, more fast-paced, felt like. It's I don't know if you're noticing a theme here, that mostly mediocre levels with one bad one and one good one. But I guess that's skipping ahead to my final analysis. So, yeah, mediocre course. Vancouver Velocity was a nice final course. It was probably the second best after the squeaky clean one. It had very good music, and was a genuinely interesting area. In a certain ways, I think it was more interesting looking than Athens. The snow and the trees with their fall foliage. You know, um, orange-colored leaves. And then racing through the ice hockey arena was very cool. And then the buildings in the background, the sky, was all very nice looking. No texture issues in this course. They clearly put much more effort into this one than into Los Angeles. And I get it, they're both ports, but yeah, it was very good. The main flaw I would say is just a kind of lack of originality in the sense that like a lot of the city courses have kind of looked like this one, like buildings that don't really, they'll add like a famous landmark and then a bunch of buildings that are totally nondescript, or just like Mario themed advertisements, when it would be kind of cool to see like, okay, fine, Mario themed advertisements, but that are like locally, that are somehow reflect the location they're in, right? I think that would be cool. But yeah, this is probably the second best level in Wave 5 and a good finish to the wave. And I guess I should comment on the new characters. I mean, I really have nothing to say. I mostly focus on the new courses when the waves come out. I like playing as Kamek. Don't really care too much about Birdo or Petey Piranha or Wiggler. I can't really say I care about them too much. Yeah. Although I will say about Kamek that, like many other, like courses in this wave, his textures were a little wonky. Not particularly well done, which was unfortunate, but it didn't really detract from the experience too much. So yeah. Alright, so my final analysis. I think this wave was disappointing. Not because it was bad, quote unquote, although it did have one genuinely bad level, of course. But because like the waves have progressively been getting better and better. I mean, actually, I would say Wave 3 is maybe better than Wave 4, but like in general. And this one like totally bucked the trend. Like this wave was not better than Wave 4, Wave 3. It probably was worse than Wave 2 as well. Probably better than Wave 1 though. It left a lot to be desired in that sense. But like in terms of what it was just on its own, it was mediocre. Just a bunch of mediocre levels, and like I said before, Vancouver was good, but like not really good enough for me to call it good compared to all Mario Kart tracks. But Squeaky Clean Sprint was like an actual good level, a good addition. Sunset Wilds was bad and like genuinely one of the worst courses in the game now, so that really brings the wave down a lot. If I had to give it a number out of 10, a score out of 10, I'd say 4.5.